I think the battles at Curious Pastimes are the best battles from any system I've certainly done.
For starters, battles are very, very thematic, they're very climactic. They have the smoke, there's the explosions.
I find battles at CP are just incredibly immersive.
It kind of helps to take away that actually this is just a game and people actually feel that they are their character in that moment.
And you never know what's going to happen next.
And it's something we do pride ourselves on, and I think it's what keeps people coming back to CP year on year, is the quality of the battles that we give them.
I'm Alistair Talbot, ref course I'm Shandy, and at CP I head up the battle team, which is myself, Ian and Jamie, and we basically write the battles, so we'll design them and then run them and adapt depending on player actions.
My name's Spencer, I'm Deputy Head of Event. From the event side we look after the logistics, security and safety, and on battlefields our main job really is player safety.
From very early on it was evident that battles were what we did best. The sort of battles that we wanted to deliver and the sort of plot we wanted to deliver naturally requires a great deal more planning and organisation, both at the event but primarily before the event.
8 weeks out from the event is where we start to have a proper discussion around, okay, what are the ideas for battles? So we might have 6 or 7 ideas on what potential battles we could run, and then 6 weeks out we will have a call between the three of us, and then whoever's responsible for the plot, and that's where we really start to pull what we think the battles will be.
The outcomes of the battle isn't predetermined. Players can actually influence the way it works.
There's scouting beforehand, there's obviously arising from that intelligence report. All of these have to be factored into the plots beforehand.
I think they work because they are woven into the plot, so that they are a part of the plot as opposed to being something that is tacked on because people want to have a fight.
Bends to my will. I draw upon every ounce of power in this place. It is ours.
Preparation for a battle is pulling the whole team together, which is some part-time staff and some full-time staff, briefing them on any changes that may be happening on the field, anything special that we might be aware of from a safety aspect.
And then the battle day itself, we do a battle walk, so all the refs involved in battle, along with the monitoring factions, their command crew, will walk the battlefield with me.
So we'll all go en masse, we'll have a very short brief of what's going to happen out on the field to give us an idea of starting points, finish points, and it also gives us a chance to review the field on that day, weather may have affected that.
It means when we want to start to move people into position, start the battle, it reduces any delays.
After that, the crew will be called together for a meeting and a briefing.
So, in terms of the battle today, just to go over it once more. Battle will be explained, briefing sheets will be given out, any special damage calls, special items, and we'll make sure everyone's comfortable in what they're doing, and if that's a chance they get to ask any questions they want.
Right, listen up. What's going to happen is the baddies are going to come and try and take away our magic cauldron. We don't want them to have it.
Once everyone's in position, be it monsters and players, then basically at that point we will declare the battle beginning, so that'll be time in, and the entire battlefield goes live.
There's a level of immersion when you're on the field. Compared to other systems, you don't get that chaotic mass of people that creates such an atmosphere altogether.
Kind of also brings people together and actually helps build a feeling of we're all in this together within the faction and within the game as a whole.
When there's so much going on, all you can concentrate on is what's closest to you. That you make sure that the people either side of you can walk off that battlefield.
Having those kind of emotional moments and you know there have been battles where people have watched their heroes duel other heroes, and having those kinds of hero moments for players I think is great, and those are the moments that stick out I think in people's heads.
We're listening to all the radio traffic coming through, which gives you a visual idea of what's going on in the battle. And then it's using that visual map of what things are going on, which all your area commanders are telling you, along with instincts to make to work the battle.
All the monsters are moving down from the battlefield entrance to the middle of the battlefield. Over.
Absolutely, thank you very much. This battle is now over. We are timed out, we are timed out.
We can only do this because we have such a proportionately larger crew, and this is what allows us to deliver what we do deliver.
On the battlefield, the main difference between the event and the game team is the game team are there to facilitate the game, so they're looking after making sure people are playing safely, interacting well, going with the plot, sticking to the rules, and we are very much on the safety aspect.
My name's Richard, and I'm in charge of the medical team. We're part of the eventing team that goes in, so we get involved with the briefings as well at the beginning so that we are aware of what's going to happen, and then what we do is we pair up with the eventing staff. We all have radios and we just keep an eye on the battle as it goes around.
I always get this feeling right before a battle. You get the butterflies in your stomach and you think, oh, this could be the day that I die. Which is a really, really good feeling, obviously.
The battles here, I mean, I've dabbled in a couple of other systems. CP is definitely, the battles are a lot more lethal.
Compared to other systems that I've played, CP is definitely one of the more deadly ones.
What makes the CP battles so fun is the threat of dying. When your character's on the floor for just 2 minutes, if someone doesn't get you, that's it, your character's gone.
Death count being 2 minutes, while that sounds a lot of time, in a battle situation, if you have fallen behind the enemy lines and are bleeding out, if your friends or faction or whatever do not get their act together and go push in very quickly, your character will be dead.
I think it makes it much more immediate and exciting for people.
Because there is that genuine fear and the threat.
It always keeps you on your toes. You don't feel like a demigod. You don't feel like, you'll live forever.
We've all bled out on this battlefield at one point or another. We've all lost characters. We've all died. Final death, done, finished. Next character,
But that's all part of the fun, because it wouldn't be fun if you weren't frightened. It's a battle at the end of the day.
We put people under pressure, but safely.
People think that the stats, i.e. the number of hits monsters can take, how much magic they have, to determine how hard a battle is. But to be honest, instinct does play a lot on this, and I think it comes down to deciding the tactics the monsters employ, and also down to the objectives around the battlefield.
There is no easy victory at CP, especially on the battlefield.
There's always something really amazing about being on the side of the bad guys and seeing the power that they bring.
We've been really lucky with our players. When they're monstering, they really do put their heart and soul into brief.
You get a lot of story out of battles, a lot of narrative. You have this overarching narrative. Also on a small scale, you've got a narrative of you're fighting with your friends, your family, whoever it is. You've got that brotherhood, that kinship with everyone there, fighting for a common cause, and that can create some incredibly good moments.
I guess if I have to pick a personal favourite battle, it would have been when I was still a member of the game team and I got to play one of the generals on the monster side and got to have some level 3 magics, which are always a wonderful thing to play with.
And the battle was so atmospheric for me there. It was all about duels against Death Knights. The weather changed the dynamic of that battle, the feeling of the monsters, the threat there. It felt so desperate in that moment.
I was on the side, I was playing a monster, on the side of this ice giant, and he stood, 9 feet tall, he was a giant and he towered above all the players, and he'd come sauntering in and, pound the ground and everyone would fall over.
25 of us took the field and 6 left. Everybody else died. And it was just looking around and seeing, from my vantage point of death on the floor, seeing all of us laid there on the floor.
I challenged someone to single combat, and as we got stuck in, the battle lines collided and we got separated for about 15 minutes. But I know it's 15 minutes afterwards, I see this person across the battle lines, and I literally just pointed my sword at him and went, "You, we've got unfinished business." and we fought it out, and I just won.
And it was so cinematic. It's like, you know, something out of a film, and you sort of stand back and you think, man, that looks really cool.
For me, stays in my head, even though that was a good 12 years ago.
What's amazing about CP is that every character has an impact on the system, and you can make a real difference to not only your characters' lives but so many around them just by going out and finding out. And it's just so immersive and wonderful to absolutely everybody.
The people that invest the time and energy into writing the plots, the people who set them up, the people who run them, and especially the people that are out there involved in them, they come to the game for that aspect. They put their best into it, and it means everybody seems to have a good time.